Welcome on into an edition of War Chant TV. Spring football, day one in the books, but
feels
it feels
like spring, doesn't it?
Feels like winter, man. I apologize for my grifter hat. I look like Corey picked me up on the corner of I-10, like hitching for a ride.
Frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
Yeah, look at me. I look like a bum. You got the leather jacket though, so you're swagged out as usual. Day one, man. Listen, I wasn't here for the last 8 years, the last 10 years of the other guy, man. What was different? Was there a lot? A little?
I mean, you could probably, even though you weren't here, I think you felt the energy, and it was a little bit different than I'm sure what you can imagine. The day started with Leonard Skinner on the playlist, Little Simple Man, and it ended with DMX.
It did.
What's that song called? Y'all gonna make me lose my mind
up in here. Yeah.
So that's how it ended. In between was probably 80 songs. And you know, that does, I know that's not the that's why what you guys are tuning in for is a playlist observation, but the music was nonstop and the tempo was nonstop. It was really fast, and they made a point of first team would take a rep, sprint off the field, the second team would take a rep and then sprint off the field, and it just went like that really all practice. And when they did the 11-on-11 and the position stuff, there were also drills they went through as well that weren't so fast paced. But when they did the competition stuff, the 11-on-11, the DBs going against the wide receivers, it is like, it's lightning. It's really fast.
Super fast out there. We saw all three quarterbacks taking, good amount of snaps. DeAndre Francois was out there, running a good bit with the team. I mean,
he didn't do the 11-on-11 at the end,
no.
But he did do a lot of the quarterback reps and made the throws.
Yeah, he made a phenomenal throw to Tamorrion Terry, which we'll probably show you right now, that Tamorrion Terry tipped to himself. That kid is the goods.
Yeah.
Keith Gavin is the goods. Wide receivers to me looked a little bit inconsistent. I don't want to maybe not give them enough credit, maybe give some more to the defensive backs. So that's a position group that looks to be physically talented, but wasn't making the catches, wasn't running the routes to David Kelly sort of satisfaction. But again, it's day one. Nooney Murray went down briefly, albeit got his left leg iced up, but then was taken off. The ice bag was removed. So I guess we'll monitor his day, or his status rather, in the coming days. Any other position group or players that kind of flashed at you there, Corey?
No, and I would say real quick about Nooney that he was walking around on the end of the practice without ice on. You would think if you're worried,
he was dragging that thing,
but
man.
you would think if you're worried about a significant knee injury, they wouldn't tell him to walk around for the rest of practice. I mean, they would have that thing elevated and he'd be somewhere else. So you'd think that's probably a good sign. We'll know for sure later on this week or next week, I imagine. September. Who knows when we'll know? But you said the wide receivers. The one person that stood out to me, and I think is going to stand out to a lot of people, was DJ Matthews. I told you during practice that he might catch 90 passes this year. The way they run this offense, just kind of little wide receiver screen here, wide receiver screen there, back and forth, and let your playmakers make plays in space. And he also had like an 80-yard touchdown catch. He's going to be a real player for this team if he can stay healthy.
Good turnout by everybody. It was 9 o'clock in the morning when they opened the gates to the general public. But a lot of fans were out here. Everyone seemed to have a good smile on their face. They seemed to like. It was infectious. You could see how much fun the players were having, and the fans, I think, in turn, kind of displayed that themselves.
And two things I think that people would be interested in. Number one, they had halfway through the practice, they had the water dance break, where the players literally just started dancing and squirting water on each other.
We weren't allowed to film that.
No, but hopping around, having a good time. And then at the end of the practice, the offensive players and the defensive players lined up and shook hands. Like, imagine a Little League game where you say, good game, good game, good game. The offensive players and the defensive players did that at the end of the practice with each other and with their coaches. I thought it's something I've never seen before. And, you might see it's corny, it's cheesy, you need to win games, and none of that matters. But I do think that helps build a family-type atmosphere and build a relationship. And you want your players to like each other. That way they'll fight for each other.
Yeah, they'll play a lot harder. We'll work a lot harder. Plenty more content coming up on warchant.com, columns from this guy, and I'll put some sort of video montage together, show you what it was like if you missed it and you were being an active member of our society and working and contributing to our economy.
And out of this weather.
We appreciate that. He's Corey. I'm Aslan. We'll see you guys later.